All right, what's up, everybody? It's Rodrigo here. We're gonna start 1 minute early, because why not? It's a pretty crazy day. In the chat, quick shout outs here: Albert, Chris in the house, Shandar, Sandeep Gupta. What's going on? Mike, Suzanne, Timothy, John. How we doing? All right, folks. So welcome here to the session. We only have about an hour and 10, 15 minutes here. Because there's a lot going on in the markets here with Nick as well in the chat room. That's where he was all day. So today we're going to cover a lot of topics, like especially what happened in the markets. So without further ado and everything else, let's get into it. Nic Chahine, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's rip the charts, man. I was in the chat room all day. You were there. I told you the SQQQ calls I got. I sold them for 180% today, like at the close. So I'm all
Nice.
cash, and I want to give you a big thank you, man, for that trade because that was just crazy. Like how the volatility. It doesn't feel because when I saw the drop in the morning, I'm gonna be honest, dude. My heart was pounding. All right, it was pretty fast. It was like it was is this is the drop, right? If it's the drop, then what are the levels, right? And then pop
Well,
into
this was the biggest, according to the statisticians, this was the biggest drop since June of 2020. So this was a legitimate drop, that's for sure.
right. And I know people played it different ways in the chat room. That's pretty typical, right? In my case, I did the SQQQs. But if you want to go ahead and show the charts, everybody knows Nic Chahine here, lead trader from the options inner circle, been with Benzinga for like 11 years. A teacher for me and for a lot of people in the chat room, to be honest, with options.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I will show my charts. I just got to figure out which window that is. Let's go. Boom. All right. So I've had a pretty challenging, distracting day. My son's trying to buy a truck. Of course, it's a fire, but we need to do that anyway. So the chat room was super busy. We even had a heckler. I guess they say you don't really make it until you have a heckler. I had a heckler inside my own room today. So we dealt with that in the morning, but it was fun. It was entertaining, and we had a lot of people. So here's what happened. So yesterday we were in the live room, and where they were looking at my charts. And then what happened was a couple of people popped in, and they said they were short, and they specified what they were short. So a whole bunch of people followed them, and today these people have had clearly winning trades on their hands. So the big dilemma was late in the day, somebody was short, I forgot the ticker now, Tesla, and deciding whether they should close their short or not late in the day. So, and this is a 1 minute, let's go to a 5 minute chart. Okay. So my comment was, okay, so Tesla is falling into prior support. So why did you short it? Is that reason still there? And we were debating back and forth. So it sounded like they were trying to get a perfect exit point on Tesla. And to me, 705 was in the sight if they had lost the recent support. So it's not like it's a surprise out of the blue. It was, hopefully it doesn't go there, but that would be the target if it loses A or B. And that was the case from a couple of days ago. So it wasn't like a surprise drop. It was available for the bears to take it if they wanted. And sure enough, they did today. They faked us out in the morning with a few spotty points of strength. And the interesting part is that there was strength in garbage. And I say garbage with a smile on my face because they're not garbage companies. They are companies with garbage.
Hey, Nick, yep. Doc is in the YouTube chat. He says that was me. Hey.
Oh yeah, that was Doc. Okay. So that was Doc. So he's everywhere. Man, you don't have enough of me? That's great. I appreciate it. So what was I saying? Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh, there was bids in the garbage stock. So early today, the VIX was up. The VIX futures were not. And the VXX, which tracks the VIX futures, were red. So I was like, what is happening here? And then the VIX took a spike, and the VIX futures followed a little bit, and the VXX stayed red. And then everything caught up to the VIX. So I've noticed that, side note, that has happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks. The VIX futures, the VXX, The ETN that tracks the VIX futures is like has a delayed response. So try it next time. Is that if you see the VIX spike, the VIX is the fear volatility, or the volatility measurement tool that's put out by the CBOE. So they call it the fear gauge. If it spikes and the VXX is not green or not up to the levels, maybe you want to buy calls in the VXX as a trade. So it's been a challenging day because there were bids in SoFi, Affirm, Roku, Shopify flipped from red to green. I forget, Netflix, I think at one point. So a whole bunch of junk stocks that act badly were green. So my thought was, okay, they were selling quality, the FANG gang, and not Netflix, and they're buying perceived junk. Again, the companies are not junk, it's perceived junk stocks. So a scared market with a high VIX at 30 doesn't usually do that. They would sell the good and the bad. They would not buy bad. So I reserve my right to see what happens tomorrow and the day after. So this is a monthly expiration contract in the options. And right now the expectations, it seems like almost every time, that this is a bad thing. I'm not so sure I agree with that. I know it is an heavier volume thing. So in the olden days, it used to be like, maybe it is bad, maybe it isn't, but now it's definitely bad. That's the consensus. So you have to respect that. And as far as what is happening with the market overall, the fundamentals are about the same. The expectations are fear is rampant that the recession is coming. But the recession, I think, as described technically, is having 2 negative GDPs. Well, we're halfway there. We already had one. And Powell said, we're going to bring you recession guaranteed. Why are you doubting it? So to me, the recession scenario is already here because we're halfway there. And the Fed said they're going to raise 2 more times regardless. This is an autopilot comment from 2018. In 2018, Powell said the same thing. We're on autopilot, except he said it. We're on autopilot, and then the market crashed Christmas. And then at some point he said, no, okay, we'll end that and we're going to do a QE. If he continues the same way, he's probably going to come under pressure to do another QE. Yeah, nobody's talking about that. I don't think it's reasonable to expect it, but this is exactly the same scenario as 2018. I don't know what the hell they're doing. To tell you the truth, they're either idiots, or they think we're idiots, or the White House has some scheme to break the economy so they can have a QE into the elections in November or whenever they do the midterms. So I don't know what's going on from that perspective, the insides of the politics. All I know is companies are still reporting record levels. So Walmart, bad report, still record earnings. I think a little bit shy of the record, a little bit lower than last time, better than the time before that. So I think it's the expectations that are spooking people. I believe Cisco after hours just reported and they lowered guidance, and they're blaming what? Of course, they're blaming, it's Putin's fault. They're blaming Putin and whatever else, maybe the backlog from China. So everybody is throwing the kitchen sink out. I don't know what kind of numbers they reported, so I guess we can find out. But I did not look at the report.
Right,
I'm
right.
looking at what?
No, that's interesting. And what do you feel about? Because I don't think we covered. I know we were talking about it last time, but before the Walmart and Target earnings.
So the Target earnings. Target is a good company. It has done well. The stock has done well. So if I go to a weekly chart, this is the biggest drop I've seen in Target in one day, I think ever. I don't remember it dropping 20%. What is this? Maybe, okay, so this is the pandemic, not the pandemic. This is the 2018 crash from tariff wars and then the autopilot. I think he did the autopilot thing in November, late that year. I don't know the exact date, but I know the market subsequently crashed because of it. So if you look at it this way, it didn't hit a floor. This is the pandemic crash. Look where we're at. So yeah, it has support target, but it's not a hard floor. I mean, it could go lower. Why not at the pandemic? By the way, Amazon is right here now, right now. Facebook is somewhere in here. Netflix is down here, or somewhere in there, maybe lower. PayPal is definitely lower. So companies are down here. Apple is not, Google is not, Microsoft is not, I don't believe. Where is Microsoft? Yeah, this is the pandemic breakout right here. Microsoft. Let's look at Apple. This is the pandemic breakout. So we had that discussion today with Apple. Yeah, look at this. Apple can fall 40% before it gets to the pandemic breakout. So this is the pre-COVID crash, recovery, and then the moon. So things, we haven't even started falling. That's my statement. The bears are not in charge. It's the bulls that are booking profits and not sticking around to find out anything. I'm getting flack for not saying buy puts everywhere. First of all, I would rather trade the action. So my statement every morning, I'm not investing in much investing like for the long term. I am trading what I can. And the way I'm trading, I'm leaving room for error. So even if I don't nail the bottom, I want to leave room for error to like sell a put spread. It's a bull put spread, credit put spread. It's a trade that is bullish, but it does not need a rally to win. In fact, it can leave a little bit of room for error. And it's not willy-nilly. Like yesterday, somebody approached me on Walmart, right? Yesterday, Walmart dropped quite a bit. And I was like, whoa, 12% of Walmart, that's pretty crazy. So they said, how about a credit put spread? I said, without looking, I'm going to tell you that I've never looked at Walmart, even on bad days, and found a credit put spread that is attractive enough. They never pay enough. I said, if I do the one I wanted, which was about 128 or 130, one more red tick like today and I'll be in trouble. And look at what happened. If somebody did that yesterday, they would be completely in trouble today with one tick. So now I'd be more inclined to do it because now we have the pandemic, not bottom, zone. So Walmart didn't say we're going out of business. Walmart was doing too well. Walmart set a new all-time high when the markets were falling out of bed. I thought that was odd. So people who bought Walmart up here, I'm not sure what they were thinking. So when the market is falling out of bed and you make a new all-time high and people chase you, and when you're a boring company, you know, Walmart is a big, giant, boring company. I thought that was odd. So you have to be tactical, which means trades more so than investments. I do have investments in a couple of stocks. SoFi was one and it's green. Facebook was one and it was green. I did not check today. That's how long-term that investment is. I did not check today. Oh, I bought Upstart shares. Yes, shares. I don't do shares often. I bought them. I did not nail the bottom. I think I bought them in the mid 30s, 35, 34, 36. I can't remember. I wanted to go big and then I said, nope, respect. I went not big, but good size trade. And people in the room nailed it in the 20s, like high 20s. I was mid 30s. Well, I think today at the high was in the 50s, 53 something. So I did not sell it because there's no reference. The bears don't have a lot. There are a couple of levels from way back then, but I'm not sure they're going to be resistance here. So I thought and plus it was up on a really bad day. So I figured I'll let it run a little bit. SoFi, did I mention SoFi? Okay. I was interested in trading things like steel companies. So X falling into a prior support. I thought a cheap $100 call, $150 call, $180 call at the money, in the money, like say for June or July at $25 would be an easy way to participate on the upside if it comes. If not, I mentioned I would stop out immediately from a level perspective, or if I lose X%. So what do we do these days? I'm favoring, if you don't want to short outright and actively short the market. So if I had the opportunity to not help anybody and just do my own trades, I would actively trade the market. It's very volatile. That's why people like volatility, because it moves from here to here and from here to here and from here to here and here to here. And I'm pretty good with charts that I can go down to the 1 minute and do that all day. And I can swing this opportunity. But since I am helping hundreds, I will make them stick, guaranteed. So what do? I like to do something with some sort of a visibility going forward, sell some put spreads against some pretty good support, and then stop out if it doesn't work, or sell an iron condor and see if it works or it doesn't work. So I try to balance my book and not be as active as I need to be. But intraday, the live room is hopping. People are shorting, people are going long. The people that are shorting now feel, okay, so something came up today. I want you to consciously think about that. If a lot of you are new traders from, say, the pandemic, during the pandemic, we had an extremely violent rally. I hated it because it was not normal and things were going ballistic. People got too confident. Newer traders thought they knew everything. And pretty much if you bought anything, you made a lot of money. So you had to really work hard to lose the money. But then things changed. So all these people that thought they were geniuses got hurt badly. And now some of the same people are feeling like geniuses again because now they're shorting everything every day. They will fall through the same hole again on the reversal. So be conscious not to make the same mistake as the AE perma bull and the perma bear. Okay, it works until it doesn't work, and before you realize it, whoops, you let go of everything. So I'm going to show you a chart that kind of summarizes everything. So this is the small cap stock. This is the ETF IWM. You could have pulled it up with the RUT. The RUT is the index. The ETF is the IWM. They look the same because they're 1/10 of each other. So this is the index. The ETF tracks the index as best as it can, and it's 1/10 the size. So what am I showing you this for? I'm going to go back to the IWM. Okay, so I'm showing you this because this was a crazy drop, right? And then we immediately retraced it. This was stupid because we were still closed. The world was still tough. And what happened? We saw the free money raining from the government. And then what did we do with that? We went to the moon. What's in this? GME, AMC, all these guys that had not a good story to tell, but everybody loved them and they went to the moon. So why am I sharing this? So check it out. If I do this, this is the whole range, right? This plus sign right there is the 50%. So we rallied from here to here. We gave back half. That is normal inside an abnormal rally. So things are normal. This drop is crazy, but it's not. It's normal, but the rally was abnormal. Therefore, the drop is crazy. So you go crazy, you get crazy. That's about it. So zoom out, think out loud, and say, what the hell just happened? And guess what? There's still a gap down here. What does that mean? It means that the pain might not be done. And they're selling rallies now. Look at the line that we put up here. It's a zone really, but I put a line on it. So now any rally into it is going to be reason to sell it. Repeat here, repeat here. So the bears will win by selling rallies. So don't fall for the rally too late. You can chase rallies inside of a descending market. I don't know if I want to, what the hell is a bear market? So are they talking stock bears or, what I say, it's a market where you cannot trust rallies. It's an optics mode market. So you cannot trust the optics. So when you get a rally like this one, don't chase it up here. Buy it down here and see if you can get and fade it. So if you catch a swing, get out. Don't chase a swing. That's the least you can do. And this is a weekly chart. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on inside. All right. So this is the big picture. So how do I trade this? I don't buy stocks that are breaking out into high heaven unless I'm actually trading them. I'm trying to think of something that just broke out into all-time high. I don't know. Whatever. Mosaic, is that Mosaic? Is it up there? No. Lily? Maybe. So if you bought Lily up here, you're not me. So this is a weekly chart. It's showing it in the past 2 months, it had two massive fails just above current price. And I was short, by the way. So why this time? Why is this time different? So it's not for me. I would sit it out. Now, if you're a trader, you can chase it above that and go into the moon. Not an investor. So I'm not investing, I'm tactically trading. Or if it falls, I may sell a put spread down here against its support, which I've done before. I've shorted some things, LMT, I haven't looked at it in a while. Okay. If it spikes, I would reshort it. And if it falls, I would go long it. We've done that. Gold, similarly. Bitcoin, there's a trade there. We do trade Bitcoin. We track Bitcoin. How do we trade? Any which way we want. I have traders that are equity only. I have futures traders. I have people that don't know a thing about options. I have people that don't do anything but options, and I have a combination of everything. So there are a lot of people that blend, sorry about that, that do blended strategies. So education, this is the time to learn. When everybody's losing money left and right, why not spend some money, play with fake money and learn until they come back to where we have visibility. We have a lot of question marks. The government is doing some pretty weird things. The Fed is doing some pretty weird things. The world is doing some pretty weird things. The ECB now decides that, hey, you know what? I want to be hawkish too, but this is the our Fed. Hey, we're going to raise 2 more times now, and we're going to sell assets for 6 months. So they're committing for at least 8 months. Well, I shouldn't say 8 things that are bearish for 6 months at least. The ECB, its version of being bearish is maybe we'll raise a quarter in September. That's what I read this week. Maybe we will raise a quarter in September. So I'm short the dollar. I did that with conviction. Why? This was the dollar spike during COVID. I was like, I don't know what that was all about, but I'm going to buy puts in the UUP, and it's up big. So I'm sitting on those puts and see what happens. Today, it wasn't about fear of rate hikes. Why? Because the TLT was up 2%. Why is that important? Which means rates, the TNX fell almost 3%. What is the TNX? The TNX represents the yield, the rate that the bond pays from the government, the 10-year bond. So if there's a rate hike coming, this guy usually rallies. Today, not so much. Where did the dollar end? The dollar ended plus 0.51. So the dollar says, okay, it could be fears of rate hike. But anyway, it's not clear because the one that's more directly tied to rates, which is the yields, was down big time. So I think this is just a bunch of price action, nothing to do with the change in fundamentals. The companies are still delivering whatever they're delivering. And it's just the expectations are being realigned. We'll see what happens in the next few days. So credit put spreads, credit call spreads, iron condors, in and out trades to chase specific breakdowns and breakouts, buy puts, buy calls, do calendars, which we're educating. So the education level has been ratcheted up a notch. For example, I shared a trade on X, the letter X, but I said this is more of an education piece. Besides, it's pretty cheap. So it's a cheap mistake to make. And I provided stop losses that would also get them out for a cheap, slight flesh wound, so to speak, if things go badly. You can't just say, okay, go out and buy a call in Tesla. That's pretty big. Or buy a put in Tesla. You make a lot of money if you nail it. But man, is that pretty risky. They cost a lot. They lose fast. They win fast, but they lose also fast. So you have to be tactical and you have to control the risk. And as far as people who join, I think they'll be surprised at the camaraderie. Like today, everybody jumped up to defend me from that heckler. I was like, don't worry about it. I didn't even kick him out. He just left. It's fun actually to have him in there. We help each other. If somebody in the chat room, so in case you don't know, every morning I share my write-up for the day with some charts and then whatever I think is going on. And then in the middle of the day, I share another write-up via video. Maybe there's a trade to be done, and here's the trade, and here are the details. Here's what I would do to get long, what I would do to get short. whatever the trade is. Here's how somebody can go long via shares. Like today, the X, I said you can buy shares, you can buy calls. I don't think I said call spreads. Or you can sell a put to own the shares, or sell a put spread, or a combination of everything. So it depends on what person the people want. And also on Friday, before we break off, I share a form where everybody has the chance to submit as many tickers as they want for review. I spend my weekend doing homework, and Sunday morning we'll meet again for free, just like this, in a webinar. I share my screens again. I'll share a giant table with all the tickers, links and descriptions and comments and trade setups if they're there, and charts, links to the charts, and a whole video. I'll run through all of them one by one, record it, and share it for somebody that can't make it. So 2.5 hour, 2 hour and 20-minute webinars every Sunday. Sunday night, I also share a 10-minute strategy video as to what I think we need to be looking for this week. Like this week on Sunday night, I sent out a note saying that we have a whole bunch of Fed heads talking, and we have some earnings, and more importantly, some also, I think we had some real estate, maybe some home building, and I didn't look at them. I didn't know that we we're going to be talking about retail as much. I must have missed some of the earnings names that are big retail companies. So that's my bad. But at least we do it every Sunday. During the day, every day, we have the chat room, which is available 24/7. And the people that want to join us there are welcome to just pop in 24/7. And then on top of that, I have another layer, which is the live room, which is something like you're looking at. In fact, this is what you will be looking at. And here we look for opportunities intraday. Like this was, what was this? Whoops. Anyway, let me see here. SPY. Oh, IWM. I know. Late in the day, we had a run on the IWM. It almost panned out, and then it didn't. Okay, so 5 minutes. I'll share the conversation, how it goes. So we were having a trend down day, and then the IWM showed some strength. And I said, here are the levels to pay attention to. And if they rally, they're going to face sellers, and they faced the sellers here. Oh, we were here. They rallied, and I said, they're going to face sellers somewhere into this. And then the decision will come, what will they do in here? Do this or set a higher low to break out? Well, they kind of ran out of time, but maybe thank God for that, because look, every time they rallied, they got sold off and made a new low. So here it looked like it, and then they came back and made a new low. Looked like it, and they came back and made a new low, everyone. So this was a rally. Were they going to come back here and make a new low? We don't know. They ran out of time. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Really quick here, I have a question from the YouTube side. Lineage, is the chat room on Zoom? I don't know if you can pull it up and show them more or less to explain it.
I closed it, but I can pull up a picture of it in a second. No, it's not on Zoom. I host it on something called Jitsi, which is what basically Google Meet. It works pretty well. Every once in a while, we have a little issue where we need to create a new room. For some reason, technology, doesn't cooperate all the time, but it's pretty slick. And the most important part is it works for people. So let me show you today's snapshot. Let me
Hey,
see
Nick,
here.
really quick here, Nick. I think I'm showing the screen here where so this is the chat, right? This is the regular blue chat.
Oh, this is a regular chat room. I'm sorry. Yes. So the chat room is proprietary. They built it for us, Benzinga folks. It's kind of like a Discord channel minus the noise. They're still working on it, so it's in progress. It is you can go direct messages, and usually I have a couple hundred people in there, maybe 180, 190. I didn't check. This would be the live room. If you want me to take the screen back, while you're there, actually, Joe, just go to the videos while we're there of the training videos.
Right. I know which one.
Okay, so another resource, if you belong to the group and the chat, you will get a resource page with all kinds of static videos. Those videos are evergreens. I need to go through to see that they're still relevant and hone some, add some. I don't remember if I have an Iron Condor video or not. I know I talk about them every day, almost every day. So what's a call? What's a put? What's a spread? What's a debit spread? What's a credit spread? What's a cash settled equity or issue? And so you have the help over there. So it works. And if it's missing anything, usually people tell us, and we deal with that by adding the functionality. So let's see here. Let me take this back if you're done.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, cool. They should let us like ping pong between the two like easily, right? All right, I'm sharing my screen again. So I brought a picture that I took today, late in the day. I took a couple of pictures today and one yesterday, I think. I'll show you. This is, I don't hide anything. This is so these are public comments. This person, Mega Noob, he's a newbie. This is a direct message. That's why it's red. People are sitting here. This is my screen, like you're watching right now with the multiple tabs. So they're watching my screen. We were talking about, what is that? Apple, discussing the Apple scenario. And Mega Noob just popped in there. And thanks a lot for today again. Within 1 month of being with you, so clearly they've been here a month. I've made much more than I could think of. Don't let that stupid guy he's talking about the morning heckler get into your head. Have a good night. I said, what stupid guy? And then his next message was, hey, kind of like, yeah, right. Okay, so I get you now. What stupid guy? I forgot about him. But this comment came in today, and it wasn't the only comment. So the camaraderie, see everyone. So Judy, relatively new, not too new, but she came in and was asking about a credit put spread. And I said, what's the delta? And she was answering me. So we were discussing, I forgot what ticker it was. I think it was Apple. That's why it was Apple there. And she asked about a credit put spread. And the credit put spread was designed to be in here. So I said, okay, Apple has a lot to fall. And it was a June 10th credit put spread. And she would stand to gain, I'm going to say 15% yield for taking risk down here. So the way she loses the only way she loses is if Apple goes whoop, straight down through her spread, which would be an additional like drop from here to here through this period of time between now and 610. So that was the discussion there. So the discussion is open to anybody and everybody. Let me see. I have another one. What did they say? All right. So this is Mary Trades. She's always in there. And how other people help out. So we were tracking some other things, and here we go. I'm showing you this stuff because it happens all day, every day. And every once in a while, I remember to take a snapshot. So Mary Trace, thank you very much for tracking Tesla. So we were tracking Tesla all day. She booked some winning. In fact, I think she was long, but other people, Linda was short. I said, wow, you short Tesla and I think Amazon. That's pretty gutsy. And here's somebody helping, directing somebody to the getting started page that you just saw with all the training videos. So the conversation is lively all day. My point is, so today I threw, among all of this, I took time to have a presentation about things that we should do better for successful options. So part of it was to develop a method. The difference between somebody winging it, between retail investors and pros, is that the pros have a method. Either the boss hands it to them, here's money to trade for me, and here's how I want you to trade. That's a method because they know what works. And if it doesn't work with this person, that person is doing it wrong. Let's fix it. And if the method doesn't work for a while, then you change it. And so then you have confidence with that method. Okay, you move on. And then comes to take a risk. How do I take a risk? So you determine how much I'm going to risk. And you determine what are my odds of success. So how much I'm going to risk. I invite you to take half of what you usually take. The VIX is 30, folks. So we don't know what we don't know, right? So we need to actually be humble with our opinions. So like somebody that went in all in yesterday on Walmart, if they had the message from me today, they would have saved themselves some dry powder, as they say, to add a little bit later. Okay, so risk. So first method, second risk, how to deploy it, how much, and what are the odds of success. Manage the risk. What does that mean? If somebody buys a call or somebody buys a put, somebody buys shares, and they say to themselves, I have X% odds of success. With calls and puts, you know exactly what that number is. It's the delta. And then time passes, and then price moves, and then you look at the delta, and it's like a sliver now of what you bought it. You didn't manage your odds of success properly because you should have managed the delta. So that is important. Managing the risk is managing the odds of success and determining when you're going to get out. So then comes, when do I trigger the trade? It's if you don't have a reason or a trigger or a thesis, then you shouldn't do it. So you need a specific reason to open a position. And the specific reason does not mean you should say, I thought it was going to go up. You need to know why you thought it was going to go up. Therefore, then now you have a reason that if that reason goes away, it tells you, hey, I used to want to be long because of ABC earnings, for example, and now, or dividends. Like if somebody was long Zim, what happened to Zim today? I'm curious. ZIM, you know, that's the stock that actually paid $17 in dividends. So yesterday, last night, or this morning, it reported earnings. My guess yesterday was that it was likely to fall on earnings. And then I said the reason why it would probably fall, I saw it in the options, but then I said the logical reason that would drive the fall, because I knew they were going to deliver good numbers. So last night somebody popped in and said, oh, they delivered great numbers, and the stock popped. I was like, okay, let's hear about their dividend. And then the dividend was not $17. So people were expecting $17 again. It was more like $2.50 or whatever it was. So the expectations matter. So when do you deploy the risk? Reason. If your reason was the dividend and the dividend didn't come, then you should get out of that trade. Don't turn it into an investment. I'm not saying get out of Zim. I'm just saying as an example. So the NTNT part, when do I deploy it? And then once you deploy it, you put the risk on. Here comes the tricky part of getting out. You must establish exit strategies. If things go bad, if you risk $1,000 for the trade, whatever it is, you say to yourself, I'm willing to lose $200 or 300 or 100 or 500. Choose a level of risk that's appropriate to your nature. So that would be your exit if things go bad. Or sometimes you can say to yourself, like if I went long Zim today, I may say to myself, here's $1,000 at this. If I lose this level, I'm out. Or if I lose 300, I'm out, whichever comes first. Okay, that's one way. Or if I got long today, I would say that, and I would say, if I get to 65, I'm out. So I'd have a target on the upside. Or if I make 20% or 30% or 1,000 or 500, whatever. So establish an exit point, worse and better. So all this stuff is, I present it in the video usually. Like today with X, I was completely thorough about everything I just told you. So if somebody wanted to learn about options, they can watch my video today. And I don't like X, by the way, but it was a trade. And they could learn a lot about options and the method and the logic. They would hear words that they're going to hear again. So if they make sure they understand these words today, it's a learning process. So Rodrigo is going to offer us something today. And whatever it is, I would encourage you to approach it not as a trade alert opportunity, even though I do share my trade setups, but as a learning method that lasts a while on your schedule. So you pop in one day and talk for 2 minutes and leave. You watch a video at your leisure, what am I, British? Leisure. And, or you can pop in once a month, or you can hang out every day, all day. I would love to have you there all day if you can. I do have 260 to 313, 314 people all day watching my screens. I have hundreds in the chat room not watching my screens. I'm sure they're not there all day, but the chat rooms are open. I can see them logged online. So I'm available 24/7 for that. So it's not magic bullets, but it is repetitive. Therefore, it does work if you work the program properly.
Well, after so many, well, here's the thing, Nic, you provide education with every trade that you make. And look, if the folks want me to be, you know, transparent and everything, I'll show them and everything. Today, this is from the trade from Nic Chahine. So basically buying SQQQ calls. So basically, you know, like 100, 200%. And I was there in the chat room, no kidding, like 30 minutes. And and imagine being there the entire day. And I know members because, I've grown, we built relationships here, Nick. I mean, we started this, it was just you and me, remember when we started it out last year? And now it's grown so big. And you see the improvement that people have, how they, go about it. And, like Cypher is one of them. There's so many there that you have. Great Mary Trades. She got a good trade on Netflix.
Yeah, she's on it. Um, very active. I wish I had the time I can be active as her. I should give her some money.
The community, that's the thing. The community is the best thing. Without them, we would be nothing. But like without the community is amazing. These people are great, great to work with. Their trade every single day. It's the gang, right? The Nick gang.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm literally chatting with somebody else right now that's giving me their homework from somebody else. The study they picked up, they are saying that the target on the SPX on the S&P is much lower than now. So I said, once we lost the 224 level, I did several videos on that in the weekly videos. We've opened ourselves up to 3,600 in the SPX. But the moons and stars needed to align for that to happen. So we should be open, even though I want to be optimistic. I still think that the bulls have the opportunity to shrug this fear off, because this is more about the market will be fine from 2 rate hikes. The market is getting destroyed by the idiotic rhetoric from the Fed. It's like they enjoy it or they're on a mission. It's one or the two. I don't think they're enjoying it, but it's like they're on a mission. You must come out and scare the bejesus out of everybody. How is that controlling inflation? What they're going to do is, this is how they're controlling. They know that raising rates is not going to do the job because they're raising the wrong rates. If you look at, anyway, there's like pretty close to record, if not record, deposits in the bank. So the banks have all the money they want to lend. So I don't think they're going to succeed in breaking the economy unless they scare us out of spending. And how is that? So most of the spending is done by people who invest in the market, people who own houses. It's not my words. I read it out there. So, and if all the spending is done by these people, and the 2/3 of the economy in the U.S. is consumer spending. That's a fact from the government, if you trust them. So if these people pull back on their spending, 2/3 of the economy will come to a screeching halt. They are on purpose destroying the economy. So they're not controlling inflation. They're making us poor on paper so we don't go out and spend. That's how they're controlling inflation. They're not controlling the cost of goods. So that forces people from raising, the price elasticity. They lose that price elasticity. Again, I'm not an economist. You can believe whatever you want. I'm telling you what I think. They're not able to control. You can look up, what's his name, Tony Dwyer, and a whole bunch of other people like him. I forgot the other guy's name. Read on their thoughts as to how why the Fed is likely to fail, or why is looking at the wrong yield curve is leading people to believe things that are not there. So my thought is, as soon as we lost this, that's the flash crash from the Ukraine war. This was the Bullard flash crash. Not that he's so powerful. He told us the Fed is out to break us, and he was right. The Fed was out to break us. He told us that January 24th. Wham, the market crashed, immediately recovered, and then they sold the rally. And then the Ukraine headline, war, that is also a decent reason to fall. That day, we closed 2-3%, something like that. And then we sold the rally. And then the Fed event, 2 Feds event to go, not the one that just passed, the one before it, where he came out, Powell, right here, right there. That was Wednesday. And he said, I'm going to break you. And we said, yay, boom, 11%. And then right here is where we put a target of 3,600. I said, this is a possibility. And for it to happen, we're going to have to lose this. So if you believe in head and shoulders, inverse cup and handles, whatever you want, this is the amount of pain we're going to take. This from here to here. Now, I said there are a lot of support zones in between. So including the one where we're just bouncing. Look at this. I'm going to show you two numbers. They're going to blow your mind. Look at this. Is this penny perfect or what? Almost. This is the March 2020 to 2021 bottom. Look at where we were today, right at that, testing that support. What's below that? March 8th, earlier in that month. What's before that? January 2021. So you see how we're going to go from one point to another. You want to see a number that'll blow your mind. So somebody said, why are the markets falling today? Why are the markets falling today? Okay, so let me show you why. This and that. To the penny, the overnight action was almost to the penny. The 224 flash crash. Remember that pointy thing I said we can't lose it, then we triggered at 3,600? And the failure point overnight. It was that. It was that. In fact, let me show you. I had a picture drawn there beforehand, and I'll show you where it looks like. This line was there beforehand. I added the circle and the arrow to it after I saw the futures fail there. Look at where the futures failed. That line has been there for weeks. I've been dragging it right for weeks. Look at where the futures failed. I kid you not. I did not move the line up or down. You can see, you can watch my videos. This is how accurate machines are. And somebody says, why is the market falling? That's why, because they came back into a very pivotal zone and they decided to halt a little bit. Okay, it went too far. They should have stopped here. They didn't. They have this. This is May 12th. When was May 12th? What are we today? I am completely lost. 18th. So 12th was last Thursday. Why was it so scary? Anyway, that was last Thursday's dip. We're still above it. So we cracked through support, and support. Clearly, these two are going to be resistance now going forward, right? So prior support becomes forward resistance. So now I'll push it over to here. I'll do this and I'll share this tomorrow morning for the gang. So resistance, boom. And that's how we do homework. And now I don't buy puts going into this. I try to get long with stops. And then I would short the market if we lose this, because I know the downside scenario is much further, a couple of 100 points lower. So I could try to short it. Meanwhile, I can try to get long with a stop. What does that mean? I can try to get long and I'll say, if I lose X money, I'm out. Or if I lose the support, I'm out, whichever comes first. That's another way to trade the action. Or I can trade the action, this action, like intraday by minute to minute, like this. This is a minute chart. Look how easily trendy that was. So you could have just trended a day. I can't do it because I'm tied down to helping people, but a lot of people in the room are doing it. But you don't need to. A lot of the conversations today were longer term. People wanting to talk about this stock and about that stock. Now it escapes me. We even had a stock I've never heard of before that it's just started to, and something like an SQM. Is there an SQM? Yes, this one. Somebody said, what do you think of that? I was like, I don't know what that is. So let's pull it up. I was like, I've never heard of this. So we discussed that for a little bit. Okay, so the discussions are open. It's not necessarily fast trade stuff. Twitter, we discussed Twitter this week. Twitter was a binary bet somewhere in the middle. The deal either gets done or it doesn't get done, right? It didn't get done. That premium's gone. So now Twitter into support is a hold or a buy to see if somebody else will come out with the talk, or maybe they'll force his hand to actually go out and buy it, maybe for a little bit less. So now the opposite quote bet is on the table. It's falling into support and I would stop out. So SoFi looking good, looking like it wants to shrug this stupid descent. This is insane. So maybe they start making higher lows. Today they make progress. I wish they had closed a little bit higher. SoFi has a good business. I don't think this metric is good enough. Maybe I said that already. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Affirm, similar business. Not quite as good a price action today, but similar business. Palantir, good business. Too cheap recently. So we'll see if they're going to be able to eat into that. Let's see here. Ooh, I did not look at Teladoc today. Any Teladoc traders here? Okay. So this is going to be difficult to start. So somebody said, how do you trade a stock like that? There was a stock today. I can't remember. It looks exactly like that. Who fell apart yesterday? Somebody big. I can't remember. So anyway, they said, what do you do with that? I said, if you're fast enough, you trade this range, and or you wait to short it once it loses this one, or you go long right here with a tight stop. So you go long saying this support is going to hold. If not, I'm out. So you take a risk and you stop out if you're wrong, or you ride it all the way back to wherever it goes, or you get long after it breaches that to chase it up there, or you just buy it or short it and you say, if I lose X, I'm out. So then you're guessing on a direction, which is fine as long as you set yourself to exit if you're wrong. So we will see what happens with this market. All right. So how about we open it up to you if you have something to say, Rodrigo? I know I'm going to put you on a hard stop today at 10 after. So I apologize. Usually I go an extra hour, but I can't do it today. So let's tell me if you have something to share with the gang, or if not, I'll open it up for questions. Maybe we'll do a couple of charts.
Well, I'm getting a lot of questions here from the folks here. It looks like we have about 700 people total watching overall and all the things. So I got a couple emails from you guys watching. I'm just going to answer these questions really quick. We'll get back at it. I have some questions for Nic too. So are the sessions on Sundays recorded? Yes, and they are posted in the chat room as well. Does everybody that joined get a free laptop? Yes, that is true. You heard that right. Is this for new traders only or for advanced? To be honest, it's for both. We have both. The advanced people train the new ones. They all help each other out. You got to try it out. Trust me, it's a different type of feeling there. What is the chat room schedule? So live when Nic is sharing his screen and talking to you back and forth, webinar style like we are right now, that is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And then the other blue chat room is open 24/7. It's international. We have people from all around the world, from every corner you can imagine. So it's a pretty, interesting chat room there. Is there a money back guarantee? Yes, 7-day money back guarantee. And the price at renewal is going to be the same one as today, 70% off. And that covers everything. If you have other questions, there's going to be a contact in the chat. So Nic, let me ask you, man. I closed the short. I closed I had calls on the SQQQ. I closed it. I was also buying the actual share of the SQQQ also throughout the day. So I make money with the calls and the shares, but I'm completely cash now. I sold everything at the close.
That was you? Okay.
That was me. I put the...
Okay, I know I spoke about it. I couldn't remember. I was like, what is he talking? I don't remember talking to Rodrigo. Did you go in with a different handle or something?
Hot Rod was my handle.
Oh, okay.
I changed it. Fine. Yeah, I changed it. But basically, I told you like I was reading the levels, right? And then I'm like, look, man, if this actually breaks down, here's the thing, man. That drop in the morning just made me a little nervous. I'm like, yo, it's happening. This shit's going down, man. Like, it's happening. But so I just, I went to the chat room really for 15, 20 minutes. You went through the lines and everything, and I sold everything at the close. And I was, reminded of the levels that you were talking about.
Yeah. So you can repeat the performance tomorrow if we have the similar. So here's the thing. I rarely see 2 trend days in a row. So this was a trend day. What does that mean? They sold every rally. So it was trending down versus you gap down and you chop, right? So sometimes it's red, but it's not a trendy. So today was a trend day. I don't usually see 2 big trend days in a row. So tomorrow we are going to probably move one way or another and chop around for a little bit. I don't think we're going to see another trend because there's no way there's no way. It's not likely. But let's say the day so you exited the SQ. If you don't know what the SQQQ is, it's shorting the Qs on crack. So basically you take the opposite bet of the NASDAQ, and it's 3 times as fast as the QQQ. So this was the performance today. So if you got out today, tomorrow you can re-engage with new money and trade the same way if the market does the same thing. I'd be surprised. So, or tomorrow you would buy the dip in the SQQQ if you still think that the pain is going to continue. Like a lot of people in my room are super bearish, and they're almost making fun of me because not being as bearish as them. I think it's irresponsible to start being all the way bearish to where you short everything willy-nilly.
Yeah, no, I mean
if you're tactical with your shorts, yes. So here's how I would deal with the SQQQ tomorrow. When it falls, if it falls into support, I would get long the SQQQ again, which is basically reshort the market, right? And if you fall below here, you get out. If you take this out, you stay in or you push the envelope. If you take this out, the market's going to have a pretty painful day. So this is how you treat it. You booked your profits, you have money in your pocket, you go enjoy yourself tonight, not too much. And then you fall. If the markets open up tomorrow, this is going to fall. You see where it heads, you catch the falling knife. So you're reshorting the market because this goes against the market.
Right.
And then you ride this, you trim, and you wait for what happens here. And if you take this out, boom, battle over here, boom. So
like slowly pacing into calls, something like that is what I'm thinking.
Right. If you're still bearish, this is the potential bearish scenario for the market, bullish this stock, right? This will get you here. Rinse and repeat right there. So you hit this, that will be your trigger up or resistance. So the way I would do it is I would say it is a resistance that is also the opportunity if taken out. So buy the dip or chase the rip from here or from here. If you do buy the dip and this continues lower, let's say the markets rally tomorrow and they don't take a breather, maybe a little bit of breather, and then this does that, I would exit here. So
okay. Yeah, by far, man, this has been my most profitable day like ever in the chat.
There you go.
I swear, man.
There you go. So I'm going to change the color on this one. I'm going to make this one green because this means the markets are rallying. And this is falling. This is short markets. That's what that is. It's ultra bear. It's a ultra short, ultra pro short. So it's shorts the QQQ 3 times over. Right? Not 2, 3. Yeah.
3 times.
So, so if the market drop 1%, this one will rally 3%. So you win fast and you lose fast. I want to give you a piece of advice. Do not do spreads in this one. Nightmare quotes. You won't get a clean quote. So it's hard. Okay, so this is your plan of action tomorrow if you want to deal with it, right? Try to swing it back up again, but stop out if it doesn't work, or wait for the breach and chase it for another trend day. All right, so what else do we have? How about some tickers?
So before anything, man, listen, the mortgage stuff, does it worry you, all the stuff that the rates going up, the mortgage payments going up? People, like, and like, I think it's like not record, but like huge credit card level, people racking up the credit cards, all that sort of stuff.
Is it a huge credit card level? I don't know that. I thought we had.
It is new.
But we also had the highest savings records ever, right? I don't know.
But they were measuring that by home equity loans, and that's not the same. That's Leaseman was measuring that by home equity loans, not by actual savings, people's pockets. It's actually really low right now, pre-pandemic low. So I mean,
what is pre-pandemic low?
Or something around there. The savings they're not as good.
This is just too smart for my own good. Just trade the freaking chart in front of you and forget the rest. The spirit of it is, the Fed is out to break the economy on purpose. Behavior like that belongs in jail. I'll give you a scenario. You hire a doctor to get you healthy. The doctor gives you a whole bunch of pills, more than you need, gets you hooked on whatever crack they give you. And then they say, oh, wait, you're too healthy right now. You have to leave the hospital. And on your way to the hospital, oh, wait, hold on. Let me give you a few poison injections so that you actually get sick and so you can need me to come back into the hospital. It absolutely is criminal what they're doing. They shut down the world on purpose. They needed to, they felt. They felt the solution to fix that is to actually reflate the world with trillions of dollars. And oh my God, we have inflation. Did you know that only the government can create inflation? You and me cannot create money. We cannot create inflation. We can spend the money we're given the opportunity to earn. So if they make money swimmingly available around us, they have effectively created the problem now. And they are effectively going out to destroy us on purpose, the economy, on purpose, that they just spent trillions building. It is absolutely weird. So they're out to destroy the economy on purpose. That's what he said, because somebody asked him, will you change your mind about your rate hikes and your balance sheet? actions with bad reports. He said, no, 1 or 2 reports are not going to change my mind. That is effectively his autopilot comment from 2018. I can't believe the media didn't call him on it. That's what he said. In 2018, he said, we're on autopilot with the rate hikes and the whatever, the balance sheet runoff. This time he didn't say those words, but he said, I'm raising 2 more times and 6 months worth of balance sheet runoffs. 6 months. So he effectively committed to autopilot.
Yeah, that's just interesting to see how all these things happen at this point in time. I'll tell you, it's the worst time to try to figure this out on your own. I'm just happy. I'm glad I've been here for about a year and a half with your chat room and your stuff. Yeah.
I appreciate you being here. We are all helping each other out. There are so many skills. I'm literally talking to somebody who was so helpful today and yesterday. His name is Cypher. He's in the room. He's in the live room. You'll see him. He doesn't participate in the chat room. He's been my friend for a while, and he's in there with the levels, and his levels are a little more accurate than me because he's a harmonic guy. So he actually uses a ruler. Me, I'm pretty damn good with my levels, but we come to the same conclusions from completely different approaches. So I love it when our approaches meet together. So, and we've been talking same levels for a while. Don't assume anything. If you're super short, don't assume you're going to win forever. If you're super long, don't assume you're going to win forever. Just be open to the other side of the opportunity. Yeah, safe trading for sure, Shah.
Yeah, so let's just close this out for the day because look, guys, we don't have a lot of time. Again, there's a lot of stuff happening in the chat room and in the market. So let's go over some tickers, Nick. Unless you have a topic you want to cover?
No, I don't. Let's do tickers. That's the funnest part of the day. Let's do it. Do it.
All right, let's run it, guys. In the chat, go nuts. All right, let's give them a minute there. And but yeah, man, it's pretty crazy with the Walmart stuff. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I can tell you what tickers are. Somebody asked me about GME today. Somebody asked me about AMC today. Somebody asked me, you know what? Nobody asked me about Lucid. Is Lucid losing its lunch? Nobody asked me about Lucid. Is it losing popularity? Yeah. So anyway, let me see. Cisco. Let's talk Cisco. Falling out of bed. Let's take all my lines out. Cisco is at 42. Oh, did you know there were 12,900 new puts at 45 today. Came out of nowhere. 12,900 puts at 45. It is right now at 42. These expire this week. Somebody's going to make a lot of money. Somebody's going to be buying a lot of shares because of it. Thoughts on the semiconductor? Okay, we discussed AMD all day today. Yeah. How about, Jonathan, I go with AMD and then we'll talk the whole semiconductor. AMD is a good representation of it. Outstanding company, good management. Not a fan of their machines. I just bought 2. I wish I hadn't. I bought a desktop that's AMD, top of the line, 5900X, whatever it's called. I bought a very beefy laptop, also an AMD.
Hey, Nick, really quick. Just want to give a quick shout out here to Tracy. Welcome, Tracy, to the Options Inner Circle chat room. Let's go.
Hey, Tracy. So Tracy, make sure you log in and watch all the videos and we'll chat tomorrow. I have to run out of here after here, so I won't be able to chat with you today. I will chat with you first thing tomorrow morning. I will be in there bright and early California time, even bright and early Eastern time. So anyway, AMD, good machines, not for me. Not again, no more AMD. I like Intel much better. They built a big base on top of very weak setting. So they had a good base here. Look at it, nice even floor. Boom, they exploded. The proper thing to do is to come back, erase this weakness. Now they have a whole block that they're trying to use as support, but the whole block is not built on stability. So, and on top of it, they have a huge head and shoulders here, and some other neckline here that are pricing out. So the rallies, if it doesn't get above 104 and come back towards 100 and then take out 104 again, sorry about that, hope that wasn't too loud, then it's probably going to lose this and go to the 70s, if not the 60s, where I would load up. But I don't need it to go there, but I'm expecting it possibly to go there. So I wouldn't be shocked. Can you believe it? It's below 70? Yes, I can believe it. And check this out. If the markets crash, if the markets crash. If you know technicals, I mean, it's not likely, it's not probable, but here is a head and shoulders. Okay, so picture this, a neckline this way. I'm going to erase it. A neckline this way. Let's say comes back to here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. The machines will hunt it down. Tons of support, tons of reason not to do it, right? Tons. But it doesn't trade in the vacuum. What if the market crashes 20%? Why would the market crash 20%? I just told you why. I told you the SPX can go to 3,600, and if it gets to 3,600, why not 3,400? The NASDAQ could still fall 20% from the other day. So we have plenty of room to fall, trust me. This was pre-COVID level. This is where we're at. Let's just say we go back to COVID level. That's 20%, 18 to 20%. So yeah, there's plenty of room. If this happens to the NASDAQ, AMD is in the 60s, if not lower, guaranteed. I guarantee it. So what do I think of the sector? I wouldn't want to touch it. I'll tell you why. If they're rallying, the S&P is rallying, the QQQ is rallying, why would I want to bother with a sector that has a shortage in chips? Great companies, but if they rally, then the market rallies. I'd rather avoid the headline risk of that sector and join the market. So good companies, NVIDIA, AMD. NVIDIA is super expensive compared to AMD, which is super expensive compared to Intel. So I would avoid it for now, but no knocks against it. I wouldn't short it. I would just be cautious. All right, what else?
Okay, so you already talked about AMD and the semiconductor.
I couldn't hear that.
Can you hear me?
Barely, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Michael Anthony talking about EGY.
I don't know what that is. EGY. Oh, EGY. See, I'm French educated. G and J's are flip-flopped. I still make the mistake. Okay. EGY, what is this? Energy company. Is it regular energy like oil, fuel? What segments? Gabon, Equatorial Guinea. Focuses on offshore. Okay. So technically, the chart itself, avoiding the actual P&L of it and the fundamentals of its business, technically, it has support into this zone, anywhere below 6. It has resistance anywhere above 6.9. So I wouldn't do anything outside of that range. I would draw a box. Do I have any lines? Maybe I do. I do not. So I would draw a box here and here. And then I would get ready to chase the breach of either sides. For example, if for whatever reason, these rallies, so here you can see some lower highs fighting some sort of a floor. So if they lose the floor, they come down to here, where you have support at 5-ish, give or take. And then the breakout was from 4.3. So you go from one level to another. The way to avoid this is to take this out and then eventually take that out. I don't think it's easy, but it's doable because you also have a higher low trend on a different time frame. Now that's just the daily. You're going to have to dig deeper. Okay, never mind. I'll do it the old-fashioned way. If you're actively trading intraday, you're going to have to go in to lower time frames. So here you can see this is an actionable line, 5.61. This is an actionable line, 6.8. This is an actionable level, not line, 7.15. So these are your next 3 lines to trade. Support, gap, support, and trigger. You lose that, you go in here. Resistance and trigger to get you to here, you take that out, maybe you get to here. You take this one out, of course, you go to the moon. You have to respect the sellers are in charge on this time frame a little bit, and the bulls are trying to find footing. That's it. All right, maybe one more ticker, and that's it. Maybe.
Okay. All right. One more ticker. All right. Fidel Guerrero YouTube chat IMPP.
What is it?
IMPP.
Paul Thomas? No.
Paul Paul Peter.
Oh, petroleum, another energy. What is this? Yeah. I don't think there's anything you can get from the chart except that back to base. So not my I can't help you with that. A micro cap like that, you're going to have to be actively trading it. And for that, we should be live, not trying to prognosticate after hours.
Right. Okay. Do we switch it then? Or
Switch it. Yeah, get something else.
all right, guys. So no penny stocks right now. Let's see what else we can find here in the chat room. Again, guys, you got
I
like
can find you one if you don't want one. How about Beto? Square. Okay. Square. Block. Pardon. Block. Pardon. Block. It's square to me. It's SQ. It's still square. Must hold this line. You lose this one. This is a 5-minute chart. So short-term comment. Tomorrow, you must hold this line. You lose this line, you're probably going to lose this one, although it is support until it's lost. Support, trigger to get you to support, trigger, lower. Another support zone. Let's zoom out. 15 minutes. That's the same lines we were looking at. That's the support that gets you to this support, that gets you to this support, will close the gap. All is well with the world. You close the gap and hold this, you can have an opportunity to take this out. What do you need to have that happen? You need markets not to puke themselves for another 2 days straight. This opportunity will turn pretty sour. Right now, they still have higher lows. So if I'm long for the long term via an investment, Square right now is not a bad thing to have. Great P&L. It's already in the pandemic area. This was where the world was completely closed. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. PayPal is even worse. It's like they know something we don't. So please leave room for error. I don't add to PayPal anymore, even though I believe it's a good deal, because I feel like I'm missing a piece of the puzzle fundamentally. It's like somebody knows something I don't. So please avoid that. All right. Good company to hold for the long term. I wouldn't add if I'm long.
Okay, interesting. All right, Nick, quick question. What time are you going to be in the chat room tomorrow? What time are you going to open it?
I was in there today at 5:15 my time, AM Pacific. So that's about an hour and 10 minutes before the market closes. I think 5:30, something like that, before the market opens. The market opens 6:30 my time, Pacific, California time. And I'm in there definitely before they open. And today I was in there about an hour before they open.
Okay. All right, Matt. Well, I'll see you there. And thanks a lot, Nic Chahine from Benzinga Options Inner Circle.
Thanks for being here. Hopefully I'll see you in there.
All right, let's go. All right, folks, I'm going to show you here a couple things from the chat room here from Nic Chahine. So this, what you're seeing right now is the blue chat room. This is like the main chat room where you can find everything, right? And I mean everything. Like, you know, Nick is going to post the message, the link here. This is the main link you need to look for, right? It says 518. This is the one for 518 today, May 18th. And click on this, right? This is the live session. So this session where you can talk to Nick back and forth Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m., 8:30, to like 6 p.m. This is the link that you want, right? So once you click it, it's going to take you to this spot where I'm at. And you see there's a chat on the left side. And that's, again, that's a different chat room, same people, same folks. It looks like somebody here is running some polls, which is fun. And right now you cannot see it because Nick is not there, but typically every day Nick is showing about, all his monitors, screens, answering questions as the chat goes. I think I could I can't scroll all the way up earlier when I was here, but yeah, basically this is a little bit, if you do want to get that immediate interaction with Nick throughout the entire day. Again, I came in here 15, 20 minutes, took care of some stuff with him, and that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to be there the whole day if you don't want to, or if you're doing other stuff. It's understandable. That's why you have this other blue chat room, right? Where he's posting, constantly, right? Trade ideas, setups, education. Everything he does is like sprinkled with education. And it's not a school or nothing like that where you have chapters and stuff. It's more of like, if you do want to learn as you go, but where the focus is trading. So if you feel you can pick up, then this is probably a good thing to try. This is a video from Sunday, May 15th. Yeah, I think that's Sunday. Let me check. Yes, it is. So these videos are
So I broke.
this is the what is this? It's like the weekly thing he was talking about that he it's like 30 minutes and he does like one for the week. But there's another one, the one he does on Sundays, which is like 2-3 hours. Um, I don't know where he posted it. Oh yeah, so Nick was in Vegas. We had a conference there, so I think maybe that's probably why he didn't do the 2 hour one, the 2-3 hour one. I think that's probably why it was. David Cooney, it depends. Just give me a quick call and we'll take a look at that. All right. So, or send an email, Mr. Cooney. All right. William, that's funny. All right. Okay, guys. Well, look, if anybody does have questions on the chat room, again, just send an email or call that number. You're going to reach me if you do want to talk about anything or have questions. Again, regarding the chat room, of course, trading, that sort of stuff. If you know, and the other thing I did want to mention is that for those that are inner circle members already, make sure that you're there in the morning, about 8:30 a.m. Eastern or so, because Nick, he didn't tell me here, but he told me behind the scenes, that he is going to put out like a special video. I think he's going to put it early in the morning. So just make sure that if you're already a member or if you're joining today, make sure that you go in there in the morning. Things are hot in the market and you don't want to miss out. Like, trust me on that. I'm talking from experience today. You definitely want to be in that chat room, even if it's just for 7 days, where you can try the money back guarantee thing, right? If your portfolio right now, your P&L is not looking good, and you've tried things and you've tried to self-teach yourself, and you have not seen a difference that you're happy with, then I don't see why you shouldn't try something different. I don't see why you shouldn't give something a shot, especially if it's totally risk-free, where you can get all your money back if for any reason you do not like it. In this economy, look at all these companies, reporting these numbers, right? Lowering guidance. You think any of these people have a 7-day money back guarantee on anything they do? I don't think so. So take advantage of that, right? Because we do have it and we're very confident about it. And that's really why it's there, right? So give it a shot. Nick's going to be waiting for you on the other side in the chat room. Roy Daniel, Nick did not do the Sunday meeting this week due to the FinTwit conference. Yes, that's what I thought, because he never misses it. He was literally on vacation one day. I don't know what island or where he was, but we were doing one of these sessions. So he goes in, he goes all in for you guys. I can vouch for that. Okay, so all right, so this is the chat room. You can see there are videos here, trade ideas, setups, all that stuff. And make sure you're looking in this chat room, right? Nick's important messages, because that's where only Nick can post, right? So all the other members can post in the inner circle chat, but the people that are in the inner circle chat, right? All the members. But in this chat room, Nick's important messages, only Nick can post. And if you do want to have sound alerts, which I do have them, these bells need to be yellow. And if they're not yellow, you just turn them on and off here, right? See them changing colors, right? So you can set them up individually if you want as well. For example, like maybe I only want to listen to Nick. Maybe I only care about the trades and the entries and things that Nick is going to post. Great, you have the alert set up for Nick. But more importantly, I really think even if you're on a break or a lunch and you're on a trade or something, if you're on a trade and you work, let's say you're working and you're in an office and you're in a trade and your trade's underwater or something's going on, I would just go to the bathroom, pop in the chat room, and you can literally get an answer in less than 5 minutes. Like, you can get away with a bathroom break just to go give a quick chat with Nick on the chat room. I promise you. Yes. Doc, he checked in from the conference on Friday. He is insanely committed. I mean, yeah, he is insanely committed. All right, guys. So I think we covered almost every question here. If anybody does have other questions, you know where to reach me and contact me. Again, guys, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate the energy. Doc, David, all the members here that have been here for some while with Nick and myself in the chat room watching this baby grow. It's been beautiful. I'm glad of and happy of what it's become. And I'm even happier about what it's going to become once you guys decide to really come join us here, right? Because the bigger it gets, the merrier it is. It's a great community. I'm telling you, it's not like any of these pump and dump chat rooms or these Wall Street bets or you know exactly what I'm talking about. These pump and dump chat rooms, right? So it's a great community. You'll know the people that you're trading with every single day. It's a group. So yeah, folks, thanks a lot for being here. Stay safe. And any questions, reach out. Have a great day, everybody.
Tell you